Welcome everyone, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the ultimate cheesy queso dip with your homemade tortilla chips. And to start off, we're going to take some pre-made corn tortillas, the ones that you can just buy at the store, and I'm going to start by cutting them into 6 pieces. You can cut them just into 4s if you want larger chips. It's all up to you. You can cut them into whatever shape you want, but as you can see here, I'm going to cut them into 6 pieces each. And then after cutting them, I'm just going to break them all apart, make sure that they're all separated properly, and we're going to get ready to deep fry them. Now I like using canola oil just because you can reuse the oil over and over again. That's actually why this oil is a little bit browner than what you'll see at the store. So you want to get the oil nice and hot. Obviously test out a few different pieces of the tortilla to make sure that it is hot enough. That way your tortilla chips don't come out too soggy and loaded with oil. So you want to make sure the oil is nice and hot. And I would actually recommend you guys pulling out the tortilla chips just as they're about to get crispy, but before they turn brown, because they will actually brown more as they cool. And of course I'm going to sprinkle it with some MSG because, let's face it, it's 2021 and MSG makes everything better. And here I'm going to start cutting up the chorizo sausages. And this is just the type of chorizo that I find in the store fairly easily. I could go to a Mexican grocery store and probably find a better stuff, but I'll settle with this. Now you want to make sure you get it really brown, and as you finish it, you want to scoop it out, saving all the oil and grease that you created on the bottom. This is going to be really essential for how you saute your vegetables, which you can see I'm cutting up right now. And because I can never actually find a solid way to finely dice up onions, I always go with a different technique every single time. So this is just the technique that I settled for today. And feel free to dice them up however big or small that you want your dices to be. Personally, I like to really taste the different little bits in my queso dip. Other people might want it to be a little bit smoother, so I'll cut mine up a little bit chunkier just because, well, that's how I like it. And of course we're going to add some green pepper, even though I'm quite confident green pepper doesn't actually add any flavor to anything. It'll make the queso dip look a little bit more colorful. And of course red peppers, because red peppers do actually taste really good. And in the same pan that I fried up the chorizo in, I'm going to use that same oil and I'm going to saute the peppers and onions, really bring out the flavor, get them a little bit brown, and now I'm going to transfer them to the pot that I'm going to actually make the queso dip in. And once all the peppers and onions are all in there, I'm going to throw in the knob of butter, 2 tablespoons worth, and I'm just going to cook it all a little bit more in this pan, get them nice and aromatic. And speaking of aromatic, here's I'm going to add the spices of your choice. You can add whatever you want. Here I'm adding cumin and some chipotle powder as well as some chili powder. Now I'm going to add in the milk and just let it thicken up. You can help it thicken up by adding some cornstarch. And here I'm going to start adding in the American cheese, because American cheese melts like no other cheese, whether it's because of its processing or magical powers, it just melts amazingly. So I'm going to tear it up and throw it in, and here I'm going to add in some Monterey Jack with some jalapenos in it just to give it a little bit more spiciness. And as if it wasn't hot enough, I'm going to add in some pickled jalapenos as well. And now this is the time that you would want to add in your chorizo meat, just so you can cook it all together, let all the flavors meld together, and you do want to stir it as vigorously as possible. And here I am, I'm going to shred up some more cheddar cheese and some more Monterey Jack, because let's be honest, we want this to be really cheesy. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it to a smaller pot, put the cheese on top, and then we're going to throw it under the broiler really hot so that way we can really crisp up the top. And I'm going to put this in the cast iron skillet, the same skillet I'm going to serve the chips in, because 1, if it overflows, it's not going to totally destroy your oven, and 2, it just makes it easier to serve the whole thing with all the chips. Top it with some cilantro, and then I just like to put my own homemade chips around there, maybe give it a sprinkle with some extra MSG, and you got an amazing party snack for whatever party you guys are throwing. And my presentation may not be the best, but in all honesty, I think that this is probably one of the tastiest things I've created, and I think you guys would agree. I mean, it just looks amazing, tastes amazing, and it's all fairly easy. And well, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. Peace.